morning. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 20th of July. Now, if you are new, I talk a lot about current energies as well as the Great Awakening process. So if you've tapped on here, you're going to find out what's currently going on in the world. So stay watching and I'll close my eyes and we'll just get started. Yep. People can see, this is the people waking up, not you if you're watching my channel. People can see there's a recurring theme. Now, this is starting to get obvious now. We know a lot of this is not shown on mainstream media. That is clear. They don't even show here in Australia the farmers in the Netherlands standing up and protesting, and we know there's tons of them over there, and that's a big deal. None of that gets shown. So people can see that this is a recurring theme. This is starting to run not only from the pandemic, but they're starting to join the dots and connect these things to the next dilemma, which, and I know in Australia here they're pushing it, is the renewables. We have been getting bombarded, and I'm sure you guys have too, with the renewables. If it's not talking about gas, last night they actually showed, and it's so ridiculous, isn't it? They actually had a story about a family who took their barbecue into their house, and of course it had coals on it. They were heating coals. So, and then they got carbon monoxide poisoning. So it's all very negative, you know, around the coal industry. So this is the kind of silly nonsense and garbage that they're putting out there now. So they're planning, they're putting their little seeds in people's minds now about all of this renewables. So people are seeing there's this recurring theme. It's almost like, I think I said a couple of months ago, it's like putting carriages on your train. These people who have been complying keep getting carriages, extra carriages put on their train. It's like the first one was the big pandemic carriage, and they had to tow that along like a big heavy load. This is the people that were complying. Then now they've got the renewables carriage put on, and that's becoming a heavy load. Oh, and not to forget that the government has clicked on the financial carriage now, and now people are struggling to pay their bills. They can hardly buy food. So that's the next carriage. So these people who keep complying are starting to piece together that there's this recurring theme where the government keeps putting carriages onto your train and leading you down their path. Not us. We're not on that path. If you think of that Thomas the Tank Engine show, we're like the naughty train. He did have a name, that naughty train. I can't remember what his name was. And he was always a little grumpy, and he'd always veer off the rail lines. Was it Percy? Anyway, we're just this little train engine. We don't even have any carriages on our trains anymore. This is if you're watching my video. This is just an analogy. We're free from all the carriages. We uncoupled and unclicked these train carriages a long time ago. And if you've just tapped on my channel, maybe you've done that too. Let us know here if you're a newcomer. We love embracing people here on my channel. We've named it Terra Bella, which is beautiful earth, because we're trying to create a new life for ourselves. So everybody's welcome here. But we're this little single engine, and we just keep chuffing along. I always talk about it. And we just do our own thing. We won't have these burdens and these weights of other carriages put on us by government. And that's what I'm getting today. These people know there's, well, a lot of them. Not all, I admit that, not all, but a hell of a lot. And I know you guys have been commenting down below. Dan, Danielle, Catherine, all you guys, JMC, everyone's been commenting about how people are starting to wake up. They're starting to want to get off the train, or the complying train, we could call it, and go in a different direction. And that's what I said the other day about people veering off that path of government as well. The other day, they're turning down their own like side streets and veering off. This is great. This is what we need. So I'm definitely getting that they know there's this recurring theme. I'll see what else we get. Now, the knowledge is starting to come to these people. So these people waking up are starting to gain knowledge. Now, I've said for a while they've been doing their research, and we talked about them doing like the crime investigation board and trying to figure out who's who and how this all works together, and who are these people trying to run the globe, not the country, every country, but the globe. This is what they're trying to piece together. So it's saying that they're starting to gain knowledge. So they're starting to get an understanding, probably not a huge understanding because this is very complex, but they're starting to understand what's at the surface. So I guess we could say that's a good thing anyway, because like I always say here on my channel, it's like boiling water. When the bubbles pop, it releases things, and usually the truth. So these people waking up are starting to get information now, and it's kind of surface information, but it's enough to plant the seeds of doubt, and it's also enough to make them want to dig further and really find out what's going on. And that's a good thing. That's what we need them to do. We need the seeds of doubt in these people that have been complying. Just see where else we go. These people who are waking up, they really wanted to believe that this whole thing was true and real. This is the pandemic and everything that's been going on. But now they're being forced to look. So they have to look because it's not making any sense. And I keep saying that. It's not adding up. Now, you have to remember that they're not in the mass psychosis anymore. Some are stuck there. We know that. There's always that handful. And they still have this remnants of the psychosis. So deep down in their subconscious mind, they still believe that pandemic of the V was real. And we know that. So a lot of us have kind of backed off a little bit from these people. I don't post much about the jab, to be honest, anymore, because I could see that it was like sort of falling on deaf ears. I post a lot now, or I don't post tons actually. Like I said the other day, I've really pulled back a lot. But the only things I share now would be about the Netherlands protests, and this kind of thing. Sri Lanka, I'll post an odd thing of that. I've actually got a Sri Lankan friend, so I do share a little bit of that stuff, just to let people know what's going on in the world, because of course, like I said, none of that's on the news. So this is what I'm definitely getting. It's that those seeds of doubt. People are being forced to look. They are. They have to look, because I keep saying it. It's that gut feelings. We know how that works because we understand our senses. We get gut feelings. We hear little messages, but we listen to them. Now these other people are starting to listen to them because they can't not, because they're getting stronger and stronger as they go through their soul awakening process. And we often talk about that caterpillar emerging into the butterfly. That soul breakdown causes you to change as a person and become somebody else. I know here on my channel, I'm sure most of you would agree, comment down below and let me know what you experienced. But I could honestly say that I'm a different person to who I was 3 years ago. I don't feel as contracted. I talked about that yesterday, people feeling contracted. But I feel a lot more open. I'm a lot more receptive. I'm sure you guys are feeling like that. I'm a lot more relaxed. My breathing's better. I just feel in a very different headspace, and I'm hoping that that's how you guys are feeling out there. I can tell by a lot of your comments that you guys have experienced that too, that real transition into moving into that more simpler life, which makes us feel much stronger and happier. I'm definitely feeling that, and that's what these people are going through. They're being forced to listen to their body's sort of mind and spirit because it keeps giving them messages. So many people try and push away and ignore those things, but very rarely does your gut give you misinformation. I mean, we all know that here on my channel. It's usually pretty honest. So they're being forced to listen to that now and follow their instincts and where their doubts and their thoughts are taken. That's the people waking up. I'll see what else we get today. Now, for some reason, this is an odd one. For some reason, I'm getting cloves. The smelly cloves that you can put in your cupboards to make your clothes smell better. Sometimes I've seen them poke cloves into an orange. And this could be about improving the smell and aromas of our home. This is a really odd one, isn't it? Let me know if this makes sense to anybody out there, but I'm getting cloves. All I can think of when I think about cloves is the smell of cloves. It's a really it's got a nice aroma. But this is what I'm getting, like about the oranges with the cloves stuck in it. It's a way to create freshness, like freshness in your house. So maybe we need to think about like buying cloves. I know they're pretty hard, so if you've got little kids, you'd probably need to be careful of that. But there's something the guides are giving us about cloves. Maybe you can get crushed ones, and I'm not quite sure. Hang on, let me see where we go with this. They're kind of saying put it in the cupboards. You can put it in little containers with holes in them. They said you can buy those little, like just at the cheap shop, you can get little salt and pepper shakers, and you can put cloves in that, and it's got the holes in the top so it lets the smell out. If you have got children, you can tape around it to keep it safe. And to put these in your clothing cupboards. It's saying that cloves can release old energy. They have this way of re-energizing and bringing things back to life. And that's what the guides are giving me today. I don't know what that's about, but, you know, maybe I've got spring coming up here. Maybe it's a bit about spring cleaning. But they're saying to use cloves, that cloves have this ability. And it could also be they have this ability to absorb old energy too, which helps with this transitional process. So maybe look at putting some cloves in your wardrobes. Like I said, I think you can shove them into an orange and it brings out that orange and clove sort of citrusy kind of smell as well. You wouldn't want to leave it up there forever because it'd probably go moldy. But I'm definitely getting cloves. Cloves have this way of absorbing but creating. It's sort of showing me that, what's that process? Is it like photosynthesis? I don't know. You guys might be able to help me down there, but it's showing me the cycle of like the clove absorbs, but it also releases. It's like a cleansing ingredient is what I'm getting. So maybe think about doing something with cloves, or we could look that up and find a little bit more out about cloves. I'll see what else we get today. Getting England, it's coming, and the guides are saying like not to be frightened though. Like if you're watching my channel and you're in the UK and places like that, you know these things are coming. It's none of this is hidden from us. But I do feel there's big changes coming now. It's very close. I mean, I feel it might only be days away too. There's a lot going on over there. It's not going to stand idle. That's what I'm getting in England. There's going to be movement forward. Oh, God. Like we've been saying, we know it's all rigged, really, isn't it? Oh, God. I'll just see where else we go with that. Oh, look, I do get the reset agenda, but we know that's everywhere. It's something we can't hide from. So in England, don't be too panicked. It's nothing that we didn't know, really, and that you didn't know. But like I keep saying, it's not all doom and gloom. You can't just sort of throw your hands in the air and go, oh, when it happens. You just have to, if anything, have a laugh and have a giggle, because at least we're all in the same boat. We'll be in the same boat then. Oh, God. Oh, my God. It's just rolling out, isn't it? I'll see where else we go today. Oh, my God. The songs I get on this channel, honestly, are so funny. I'm getting this song called Don't Give Up on Us, Baby. I've got the feeling that might be by David Cassidy. Can anyone confirm that? Don't give up on us, baby. We're still worth one more dry. The future. I'm not a very good singer. Sorry, guys. I'm sure it's David Cassidy. Anyway, look it up. Don't give up on us, baby. But it's a song about romance. But in this case, what the guides are saying is for us not to give up. We're not to give up. We have to keep trying, because that's what's making the difference. That's what's making this elite government leaders and their big Titanic ship, that's what's making it unstable. The fact that there's I talked about the other day on my Titanic video, the hole in the hull. They have to keep patching things up. They have to keep covering things up. So we can't afford to give up, because we're the fighters. We're the ones that have that strength inside of us. And now movement is growing. I've talked for quite a while now about our blob movement. I talk about it if you're new here. There's a movie called The Blob, and we call our freedom fighting movement The Blob, as it sort of rolls along and it people stick to it and it starts to keep growing. Well, this is what's happening, and we can't give up. We cannot give up. We can't afford to give up. And I don't mean give ourselves up, because we know, and I talk about it here, we've got to protect ourselves and save ourselves during these challenging times. But also we just can't give up. And I don't think that's in us anyway, to be honest. I don't think that's who we are. We're not people who give up. Gosh, we don't fight this for 3 years. Gosh, on TV, they're still talking here about the 7-day COVID payment. And if anyone's sick, they're allowed to get this payment. But they're still talking about not giving it to the unjabbed, because they didn't get the V shot. So they're talking about that. We're just insignificant nobodies to these government leaders, aren't we? It's incredible. We're just such non-compliers, and we're so naughty. We get punished all the time. It's just incredible, isn't it? That 3 years on, this is still going on. Even though we're all still here, we're all standing, we're all getting on with our lives. So I want you to go check out that song, Don't Give Up on Us, Baby. We're still worth one more try. So we're still going with this. I know that's a big flashback memory. I'm sure it's David Cassidy. Oh, he was a hottie, wasn't he? We all us girls loved him. Maybe you guys did too. But he was cool, wasn't he? I'll just see if there's any closing messages today. Oh my God. The guides are saying that these government leaders and these people who are putting out the agendas are creating a new scenario. Oh my God. How could you have any new scenarios? They've done everything. But this one's going to be like a big bang. It's going to be a big force to be reckoned with. It's like they're not even going to be able to control it. And I do feel that this is around the big V. I feel like they're going to come up with this, because we all know that Mpox, just saying, didn't take off, and nobody took up those jabs, and they had heaps of jabs for that. And now they're working on, here in Australia anyway, the universal jab, yes, that covers everything. And we know they're about to inject all the little kiddies now from 6 months to 5 years, which is just horrifying. But that's what I'm getting. They've come up with this very big... So don't be surprised. I'm thinking that'll come out in September. And it's going to be the biggest of the biggest. And the name might start with A. I'm getting A. I'm getting the word apex for some reason. It's kind of showing me, God, I always get pyramids in this thing, because this is such a... I talk about it here on my channel being a pyramid scheme that we're all currently in, with government at the top, and they're making all the money and we're all making nothing. But I'm getting this like apex image of this is going to be like, this V is going to be the V that's just going to wipe everybody out. No one's going to be able to get a handle on this new V that's coming out. I've got the feeling it's September, and that would probably make sense, because you guys over there in Europe and America and everywhere would be going into winter, so that would be the perfect time to roll out another V storm. Oh my God. So I'm definitely getting something about the apex. Like it's showing me like it's all what they're going to do is they're going to like bring all these CV viruses and everything together and make this big, massive one. And it's like a big combined one that's going to really scare everybody, because that's what they want to do, scare everybody. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. They're going to create this one large one now that is just going to wipe everybody out. And if you don't get on board and get yourself protected, as we know, you're not going to go on. You're going to be wiped out. And that's what the guides are saying. They're trying to create this complete and utter fear. They know what worked in the past. Oh, they know it. These government elites and people in power, they know how efficient that mass psychosis was and how well it worked. And now they feel like all they've got to do is bring everything together and just hit people. For some reason, I'm getting the apex. I don't know whether that's something around the name or... Anyway, that's what I'm definitely getting. They're going to have this, the biggest of the most dangerous, as we know. That's how they're going to portray it anyway. Maybe not in our eyes. That's not how we see these things, is it? We're just too busy over here getting on with it. I'll see if there's anything to close. Yeah, look, if you're on my channel, the guides are saying don't worry about the CV viruses. The best thing that we can do is just stay strong, stay healthy, stay whole, stay in our power, stay in charge of our lives, not conform, not comply. Otherwise, we will go down that road of tyranny. The more people that stand up and fight and have that courage to fight back, it can make a difference. So we know that this is making a difference if we stay in our power. I always talk about it. It's like if someone's got depression or someone's in an angry mood, it's very important to keep your power and just be parallel with them, so don't get dragged into that energy. So that's the energy, that's the message for us, is to stay in our true power and keep strengthening ourselves. Hang on. Yep, people don't want this anymore. People waking up, they don't want this anymore. They're tired, they're angry, they're becoming hostile. Gosh, we know that in Sri Lanka. And hostile, not in a negative way is what the guides are saying, hostile in a good way, that they're starting to take their lives back. And this is starting to happen on a global scale. People are starting to want, let's hope they do, take their lives back. That's the image that the guides are giving me. And they're saying that Canada's trucker movement was the first to kind of cast that spell. So it was like and when they're saying cast the spell, they cast the spell in a good way, because it was like, they're showing me like a Harry Potter, like, you know, what is, like Patronum or something like that, expected Patronum, or, and then they hit the rest of the globe and people woke up out of that sort of trance. Not all, we know a lot didn't, but Canada really did a spell that helped people to see the truths, and we know that happened because they exposed the truths with their spell of trucker convoy, and that's what I'm getting today, is that they woke a lot of people up. See, the cost of living and the standards of living are changing dramatically, and they're changing really fast. There's a lot more people that are going to be homeless. That's already happening, God, in America. That's all been happening for years. That's nothing new, is it? But there's going to be a lot more of it, where people are going to start to live in cars. They're going to not be able to afford rent because mortgages are going up, so people are going to charge more rent. This is going to become harder and harder. Less government housing. Although, as we know, they're going to offer their wonderful packages, the governments, and this is where it's all heading. They want to squash people so they can lend them their helping hand and give them their wonderful government packages. Oh, it's sickening, isn't it? I'll just see if we've got something to close with today. yeah, the message is for you guys. Don't stand for the garbage anymore. We don't have to be part of that narrative anymore. This whole mask wearing, jabs, blah, blah, blah. It's not our life path. We're off that path. We're not even in it at all. Sure, there's going to come times where we have to respect people. For example, in a shop, that's just respecting somebody's personal decision. It doesn't mean it's our decision. But if someone won't let you into a shop and you have to wear a mask, you are going to have to do that. But when you get out, of course, you take it back off. So this is going to be tricky to navigate moving forward, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of confusion now about rules and regulations. This is going to be really hard to navigate at times, not always, because when you're fighting against the system, they'll do whatever they can to squash you, and they still focus on the people who won't comply by still keeping them isolated. They're very good at manipulation and doing that. So, but that's okay. It doesn't bother us. We'll stay strong in our power. We'll stay in Terra Bella, and keep doing what we're doing, enjoying the simple things in life and the small moments. Look up David Cassidy's song. If anything else, it's good for a laugh. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like buttons and the bell notification so none of my videos pop up. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Bye.